So I covered the Illuminaughtii situation pretty extensively when it first happened, because it literally blew my mind, mainly because it's someone that I spoke to kind of in my personal life, as in private. We DM'd here and there, and it just blew my mind that she could be this evil person and also be super supportive and like helpful when you needed her to be. I don't know, it was just like, it blew my mind a little bit. It kind of blew my mind the way Creepshow art blew my mind. It was the same situation, just same thing, different day, honestly. And a lot of people have called her out. I discussed everything in multiple videos, you know, all the people that have called her out. So she called out Legal Eagle, he called her out and exposed her for lying. And we just had like a bunch of, we had Wonderstruck, we had, there was just her ex-boyfriend, just a bunch of people called her out for being an evil person, being a manipulator, being allegedly psychologically abusive to people, manipulative, financially abusive, using finances to hurt people in their everyday lives and keep them doing what she wants them to do and contained and, you know, behaving the way she wants them to behave. Even when she got initially called out on Twitter, you know, she did that YouTube video where she essentially exposed one of her friend's suicide notes, and it was just like a whole, like, her personality just kept on coming out and coming out and coming out. And I didn't realize, but 2 weeks ago, Oz Media posted a video, and it kind of flew under the radar for me because I was just focusing on a bunch of other stuff. And I knew that he was planning a video about her that was supposed to be really long, but this video is only 17 minutes long, and it's like a pre-video video. So I kind of want to go over that. But before I do that, I also want to discuss her YouTube channel. I stayed subscribed because I wanted to see what she would keep on posting, and she's still posting every day. Her views are much lower, so she's on 1.34 million views right now. And she's getting around 20 to 30,000 views per video. She obviously posts every day. Still, I don't know how she's still doing that. Her videos have taken a really weird turn. They're all very like, I think she really changed the style of her thumbnail, maybe to try and trick people into thinking that it's someone else. And she did stop putting her like little character into the thumbnail, I guess once again to distance herself from the content. But yeah, very weird content she's making right now. It looks very different. Like, these are the thumbnails now, and then these were the thumbnails like a few months back. You can see they're very different. I don't know, just like they give me a different vibe. And obviously right now she's getting around, like I said, 20 to 30,000 views. And when we look at 10 months ago even, 600,000, 500,000, 200,000, 200,000, like a big drop in views, and obviously a big drop in AdSense. And a lot of her sponsors ended up cutting ties with her, one of them being HelloFresh. So I don't really think she's getting much money on that side of things. Now with her Social Blade, I used to be obsessed with Social Blade. Why is her name so difficult as well? Just so many I's and so many. So she's still losing about 20,000 subs every 30 days, and she's on just under 600k views in the last 30 days. She posts every day, so that kind of helps. But this whole situation went down around, I guess the dip is from March to April 2023. So before that she was gaining anywhere between 20 and 100,000 subscribers a month. I can't even comprehend that. That's insane. She was doing so good for herself. And then pretty much from March she gained 30,000 subscribers, and then April negative 10,000, and then after that it was negative 170,000 subscribers in May, to negative 70,000 in June, negative 40,000 in July, negative 20,000 in August, and now negative 30,000 in September. So she's still losing, just not as drastically as like 170,000 in 1 month. But it's still not, you know, it probably doesn't feel good. And that's pretty much it. So I'm hoping she, for her own sake and survival, I hope she was smart with money. I hope she invested. I hope she put some money aside so that she can not starve, I guess, or so that she won't have to get a regular job. But maybe with everything she did and how she treated people and how she financially abused everyone around her, allegedly, maybe that would be great if she just had to like go get a regular job. But then she would treat all those people badly. I feel like as a YouTuber she comes into contact with less people now that she's been exposed. She like won't have that many people that she's closely working with. Whereas if she just went to get 9 to 5, because she's anonymous on the internet, she would come into contact with other people who then she could treat really badly. So maybe it's good that she just stays at home and films her little YouTube videos and then leaves everyone alone. So that's a little rundown of Illuminaughtii. And now Oz Media posted this video, and it's 17 minutes long, like I said, and he says that he's just struggling right now to do this big video. So there's about 6 hours of raw footage that he has, because he showed a timeline of editing and he was done with about 3 hours of it. And obviously that is probably a hard workload. So he's saying, you know, it's difficult for me to post anything else because people are gonna keep on commenting like, where's this video, but he's working on it, but it's 6 hours long. So he wants to be able to post stuff while he's working on that video, but he wants to like almost announce like, hey guys, I am coming out with this video, but like give me a minute, let me work on other stuff in the meantime. So that's obviously something that should put out there, let him do his thing. But he's having some legal issues. Obviously she threatened legal action, and it is coming out that they were dating at the time, they were in a relationship. So he's obviously got a much different insight and perspective into Iilluminaughtii than even just like her friends or colleagues, because he was dating her, and this is a second ex-boyfriend now accusing her of financial abuse, psychological abuse. So it's starting to really stack up for her. She is trying to foreclose on his home, like a house that he owns, and a bunch of debt was put in his name, which obviously created a bunch of financial issues against him. And then she used that number against him and then went to other people to gossip about him and tell them all like, oh, see, he owes me so much money, like he's so bad with money, he's just using me for money, while she was like actively putting debt in his name, allegedly. So apparently the house thing was complicated. I don't quite understand this whole situation, but the house was like in her name, but he was paying it, and now she's trying to foreclose on it because it's technically in her name, but then she would sign a bunch of debt over in his name, and then she made him sign an agreement. She basically got a lawyer, and he couldn't afford legal help at the time, so she had a lawyer. She drafted this agreement. She said, you owe me this much money, and every single month you're going to pay me this much money back so that you can keep your house and so that I can pay off your debts that you owe me. And apparently it was essentially more than he was making while working for her. So he was working for her at the time and dating her, and she knew that. So she knew, she put all this debt in his name, she knew how much she was paying him, and she knew that he couldn't afford this whole... Do you see how this is just financial abuse? Like, this is just straight up, she was essentially getting free labor out of the fact that she financially abused him. I hope that makes sense. So like I said, she put a bunch of debt in his name, and then she would get him to do work for her, pay him, but then pretty much immediately take all that money back from him to pay off debts that he wouldn't have if he hadn't met her. So she was just getting free labor and financially abusing someone, allegedly. I keep on saying allegedly because she's throwing around the lawyers a lot, and I do not have the time to get a cease and desist. Like, I just don't have the time. I'd rather do literally anything else. Just stare at this wall over there. It's just a blank white wall. I'd rather do that than have to deal with lawyers and her. I actually want nothing to do with her. Now, he does have a GoFundMe to help with legal and financial issues, which he's obviously going to use, one, for lawyers, because that's super expensive. And if he has any money left over, he's going to use that to try and like keep his house and pay off some debts that are still in his name. It completely destroyed his credit score. Like, she is literally an evil person. I can't even... And the thing is, his story from dating her and how she treated him while they were in a relationship mirrors her ex-boyfriend's story. So that links up. Obviously, Swoop did a whole video about, you know, going through and emailing her ex-boyfriend, and he kind of broke down everything that she did to him. And this story really matches up. I want to see what Oz says in like the long form video, because I bet there's so much evidence there, but even now with the minimal evidence we have from him, the stories match up. So I'm willing to believe them, obviously, because that's not two people saying the same thing. And then the financial stuff, her buying him stuff and then holding that stuff over his head, putting in his name, using it to financially destroy him, that pretty much mirrors Wonderstruck's video with the car loan and paying him and then letting him move into her house, but then kicking him out whenever she feels like him, making him homeless. Like, she loves well, I hope she's not doing it to anyone right now, and I hope no one is talking to her enough for that to happen. But at the time, she loved buying people's stuff and feeling like a good person by like paying them or paying for their house or paying for their car. And then if they did anything out of line, just immediately like this, snapping it out of their life, taking it, being like, oh, well, you didn't do this, and now this car is actually mine, and making them homeless, making them reliant on her. Like, it's insane. This is just so evil. I don't typically like to diagnose people, but like, this is giving sociopath behavior, and it's honestly disgusting to see. Obviously, this is just a 17-minute long video. It's like I said, like a pre-video video. So I am waiting for the long form video. I'm not rushing Oz. Obviously, he's the right to do whatever he's doing in the meantime, and it seems like it's, one, super mentally taxing, but physically there's just so much like footage to get through. So I hope this comes out at some point. I hope she's not going to sue him, or like, I hope she gets... It's just insane to me that my mind goes into such shambles when I even think about the situation. This all started because she accused Legal Eagle of stealing a ripped paper effect. And she could have really just said, hi, I'm sorry. And then when all this Wonderstruck stuff came out and everyone else that exposed her, Sad Milk stuff, she could have just said, hey guys, I'm sorry. I was a bad person. I didn't mean it. But the thing is, she keeps on doubling down. It's like, with the Legal Eagle stuff, she pushed it as far as she could. and then she tried to get ahead of the friendship stuff and make them look like bad people, and then it came back to bite her in the ass. And then instead of just saying sorry, she then got lawyers involved and started sending out cease and desist. Like when she put out that tweet being like, oh, I'm pursuing legal action, just stop doubling down. Just say sorry and become a better person. But she just can't do that. So then Oz announces he's going to do a video. So she tries to foreclose on his house and pursue legal action while still posting on YouTube every day. I literally can't believe this situation. It's always the like faceless channels that come out with the most like batshit crazy situations. Anyway, guys, that is the update. This video from Oz was posted 2 weeks ago, so I'm a bit late on that, but I literally just figured this out. So I'm happy there are some updates. I'm happy that she's still getting the consequences of her actions, and I hope Oz, if there is a legal situation, I hope he obviously wins, and I will link the GoFundMe in the description, so if you guys want to help, you can. If you want to see Iilluminaughtii get the consequences that she deserves, and for everyone else to get justice, that is it. Subscribe with the bell icon for engagement. I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye, guys.